Hello and welcome to my YouTube series, How to Do It All, One Mom's Guide to Living Your Dreams Right Where You Are. I'm J. Grace Pennington, an independent author and stay-at-home mom of 4 little girls. And I originally wrote this series for Kindle Vella a couple of years ago. I originally had 12 episodes, and then I did go back at some point and kind of start having some ideas for other things I wanted to add. And so this 13th episode is the first of those. And then we'll see as I continue to kind of percolate those other ideas, I may go back and add some more content onto this series at some point. But for this episode, one thing that I kind of had started observing just as I noticed what I do to try to increase productivity, focus on what matters most to me, things like that, that I've been talking about. One thing that I thought a lot about was the snowball effect. So if you, unlike me, live in a place with frequent snow, you know firsthand what happens when you roll a snowball along the fallen snow down a hill. It will pick up more snow and more, getting bigger and bigger, picking up momentum, and the bigger it gets, the faster it will roll until it has grown into what you want it to be. Part of a snowman, an impressive snowball fight missile, or just a cool ball of ice. Whatever you're looking for, rolling it along will increase its potential to become that. So habit forming can really work in much the same way. The further you go, the more you pick up steam. So this means you don't need to discourage yourself by trying to just build your big snowball of a habit right at the beginning and out of scratch. You can take the pressure off yourself by knowing that it will be smaller at first, and encourage yourself by knowing that it will get easier the farther you go. And this is the way our brains are actually designed to work. The more often you do something, the deeper the path that is forged in your brain until you will move along this path automatically with minimal effort. But you're starting out with no path, so it's going to be hard at first, like building the beginnings of that pathway. But that doesn't mean that it will be hard forever, and that's been super important for me to remember as I continue to build new habits, change things, that the difficulty now does not have to last. And again, that's how habit forming works, is it gets easier and easier as you go along. So one example that I have is intermittent fasting. I first started intermittent fasting for health and weight loss a few years ago between my 3rd and 4th babies, and it was really hard at first. I was hungry, I had headaches, and worse, I found that the emotional battle was actually a lot harder than the physical battle for me personally. I could push through phases of hunger without too much effort, really, personally, but that urge just to have a little snack at the end of a long, weary day was just very difficult for me to resist. And to make it harder, I didn't really lose weight for the first couple of weeks, so sure, I was noticing some benefits, but not as much as I had hoped. But I had heard from everyone that it was best to stick it out a couple of weeks before quitting, to just give your body a chance to adapt to what's going on. And by the time I reached the end of that 2 weeks, I did start to notice changes. I was less hungry, I had more energy, headaches were gone, my brain fog and inflammation were diminished, and I finally lost a couple of pounds. I also started to really enjoy the way that this form of dieting allowed me to relax about food, not thinking about it for a lot of the day except during my eating window. And then in that window, not really stressing about what I was eating and how much and things like that. So I grew to really love this way of eating, and I found my body's rhythm, and I was sad when I had to stop fasting because I got pregnant again. And here's the really cool part though. Once my 4th baby was finished breastfeeding, I decided I was going to start fasting again to address some health issues and again to lose a few pounds of that baby weight, things like that. And so I braced myself. I remembered how hard it had been the first couple weeks, the last time. And so I was preparing myself for just like a tough week or two. But to my surprise, even after a year and a half of basically eating all day during pregnancy and breastfeeding, I slipped seamlessly back into my fasting schedule. My body reacted really well. My mindset shifted very easily, and I felt great from the very beginning. So while they hadn't been traveled in a while, I realized those pathways in my brain were apparently still there. Like the things that I had created were still maybe a little bit rusty, but they had been formed, and that had not gone away. And I've seen that apply to so many other habits in my life. Writing regularly has gotten less daunting the longer I do it. Getting up early in the mornings has become automatic rather than a chore. I never thought that would be me. I always hated mornings, such a night owl, thought I'll never be that person that gets up early every morning. And for a long time, at first, it was every single morning when the alarm went off. I was just dreading it, had to drag myself up, all those sorts of things. And I really have, after, a few years, gotten to the point where I look forward to getting up in the morning. I look forward to that time of accomplishing things. And so really, the work I put in at the beginning to get those pathways formed has really paid off in so many other areas. And so things like working out too. I never thought I was going to be a person that loved working out, and it was really hard at first to form that habit. But working out on weekdays now feels more natural to me, a long time sedentary, because I formed those habits through small steps, rolling down that hill to become larger and more ingrained. So all this to say, give yourself time. Don't quit too soon. Don't think that because something is hard now, it will always be this hard. Our brains adjust, our bodies adjust. We adapt to new practices in astounding ways. The way that we are designed to incorporate new practices, build new habits is truly amazing. And we can really take that and turn it to our advantage in habit forming and prioritizing the things that are important to us. It just takes a little time to snowball our way to these coveted new habits. So now it's your turn. Is there a habit that you've tried in the past to build but have given up after a few days, a week, something along those lines? If so, can you force yourself to just give it 2 weeks and see if it gets easier at the end of that time? And would it encourage you to change your mindset from, instead of thinking this is a hard thing, to this is hard now, but the longer I do it, the easier it will be? Thinking that is something that has helped me so much to keep from getting discouraged during those beginning times of habit forming. So hope this was as helpful to you as it has been to me. I'm going to try to get some more content up as I continue to think through some of the things I'd like to add to this series. But if there's any ideas you have, any questions you have, thoughts for things that you would like me to address, questions for the things that I've done or the ways that I do things, or just anything in particular, please let me know in the comments. I would love to address any needs that you have. If it's something that I have anything to give, anything to help with, I would love to do that. So please subscribe, let me know your thoughts. And again, thank you so much for being with me through this series. I really hope that it's been beneficial as you seek to live your dreams in your life where you are right now. Thank you so much.